let's do prop under the sacrum. So you're going to be on your back with your knees bent. And just pick whatever prop you want. You can decrease the intensity by using a smaller prop or a prop that has some give. We often use a quantum ball. Noodle is a good one for that. If you want to have a higher surface area like your bolster, I might try my bolster today. Soft and forgiving, but also a little more oomph, a little more height. So put that prop under you. Your feet are more than hip width apart, and you're going to push with your feet and bridge up. And you could always start on your quantum ball and then move to the next higher thing as you warm up your back. Oh, this feels good. We just start to connect with our body. Kind of see where I am. I love this class so much because I get busy. I stretch throughout the week, but I am so glad to have this routine where I have the self-care built in my week. Appreciate you guys being here. It's so fun. We're just hanging. We do this beautiful class. You add that deep listening. So we're noticing our body. Let's bring our attention and notice our feet. It's a little chill in the air. Your brain might be busy as you kind of slow down. I got my nails done for fun. They're purple. But I was at the nail place. They had game shows going on. So I was watching Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal. So there's that in my brain. Thank you, brain. We'll just let it float on by. Like you're watching a leaf flow down the river. Your feet are heavy on the mat. And wiggle your toes a little bit. And in my mind's eye, I'm just noticing my legs. There's a little bit of the coolness of the air. I just can imagine my knees. It's like we're taking an elevator up our body. There's your quads, hips. Hip bones are right there. You can put your palm down on your hip bone there. And you can just feel your hips with your hand. And then you can feel your hands with your hips. Whole thing. Let your hips be heavy on that prop. And I'm going to add a little pelvic floor vibe. So if you want, you can follow along. And sometimes we have holding patterns. We don't even realize we're tightening. So we're going to exaggerate the tightness. And then that helps us find the spot where we can let go and relax. So I'm going to tighten pelvic floor. So you can even tighten your glutes, release your glutes, and then Kegel. So a squeeze and a lift, and then relax. And notice that relaxing, that letting go. Let that be a nice cue when you let your hips be heavy. You're softening your pelvic floor. Let's do it one more time. So we're going to tighten, squeeze, and lift, and then relax. Heavy on your prop. And your hips, your sacrum are on a prop. Your low back might be lifted from the mat, but let that low back be heavy. And that's helping to elongate. And the back of your head. Here's your noggin. I'm going to tuck my chin and lengthen my spine because I have a little chin forward thing I'm working with. And then I just let it go. So let it do what it does, but you can kind of, yeah, and let your Chin drop. We just notice. We're letting time do the work. No electrical zinging. If it goes past your edge, we start to brace, and that's not gonna do anything. Exaggerate the bracing and holding pattern. So we stop before that. So it can get a little edgy as long as you're able to soften and melt and be with your body in that technique. But also, you might notice if you just back off a little bit, the body and the nervous system gives you even more leeway, more space, more elasticity. I'm feeling I notice my right hip is quite a bit heavier on my prop than the left. So then I can just do a little inventory of my left side and notice that left adductor, which is something that I often have a little holding pattern and some tightness in. And for me, then if I let that left foot be really heavy, that adductor can then let go. That's what we're doing, is noticing our body, noticing our patterns. We'll always have tightness or bracing, those kinds of things. And we're just it's in layers. And then we use our body all week. It's like driving your car. It needs a little maintenance. So we're noticing our body. We're getting to know those holding patterns. And then all the change happens because we become aware. And it still might happen, but when you notice it, life-changing. Boop-a-doo, it becomes more and more in your attention, and then eventually it's not there. When you notice it tight, can you let go and soften? That's beautiful. That's the work right there. The time that we hang out and wait is all that space is you getting information, learning, feeling. It's a word we don't talk about a lot in the world every day. Space for you to feel. You can notice your breath through our session today. And we don't have to change it, but you can just notice it. Sometimes we have a habit of holding our breath or only breathing in one area of our body. So we just notice. And all of those things can help us get out of our head and not think about work or the snow. We're on our beautiful prop today. I'm going to bring one knee to my chest. So you can do this on the mat without your prop, or you can do it on the ball or the noodle, whatever you're hanging out on. I'm going to bring one knee towards my chest, and it can even be at an angle. So it's coming a little bit outside my body. And then you can grasp underneath it or on top of it, whatever your body likes. And then check in with the other leg. Can you extend that leg and add a stretch? You notice my straight leg is not straight. No worries. We do We go where the body wants to go. Again, a happy knee, happy hip. You can have less pressure on it if you grasp behind on the hamstring there. I love when I have one side extended, I love the opposite knee bend. It creates a pelvic tilt, so it's stabilizing the low back. So the stretch is in my hip flexor, that straight leg is stretching in the hip flexor, a little bit of adductor, wherever you feel it is great, but it puts it more in the front of the body in the hip. And your nervous system knows that your low back is A-okay because you got that bent knee. So we tend to get more space because the body feels safe. The nervous system is running the show, people. So it's good to be sweet to ourselves. I'm feeling this. My favorite left side, my straight leg right now, and I feel it in so many different places. Belly, adductor, kind of the middle of my leg, but very high up on that top of my thigh. And this is great for gait. As we get older, this can get tight, our pelvis and hip flexors. And then if you imagine, if you've seen your parents, watch people in the airport, they kind of get tipped forward and then there's a shuffle happening. So we want to be independent forever doing the things we love to do. So we do a little bit of this work to make sure we have our gait. So we have space between when we stand, our legs don't become more and more narrow. And then when we walk, we have our natural gait, one leg in front of us and one leg behind us. And that is how we maintain balance as we age. We're less likely to fall. And even as we're young and we're not worried about that yet, it's going to, again, keep us from getting injured. One leg's moving better than the other. That's how, if we're not balanced, that's how plantar fasciitis shows up, hip stuff, knee. So I love one leg extended and one knee bent. It's a great way to keep your Shazam, your zip, and your independence. Soften your pelvic floor. Hips are heavy on your prop. Just another minute here. Checking in with your body. And as we think about switching that straight leg, you're just going to drag that heel on the mat up. You got that foot solid on the floor. Let the one in your belly come float down. 2 knees on your prop. Grab, kind of situate yourself, and then let the other side, that other knee come towards your belly. And again, it can be outside, angling towards your hip. Female pelvis, the hips open more at an angle like that. And grasp that leg, whether you want to be behind the knee or on top of the knee. It'll be different, right? Each side has its own story. Opposite leg if it wants to, and your hip and low back are up for it. Let that leg straighten out. And we get information all the time. And this side is more tight than the other. And this is my happy side. So I go, I've been working a lot on my left side to get it to soften and open up. And I think it's working. Better give my other side some attention. I do notice on this side, I have a little bit of holding pattern. It's hard to, it just doesn't feel as easy or at ease, comfy. So then I just notice I can shift, have that bent knee not so close to my belly or hip, and see if I can soften there. We just get curious. I hope you all had a happy holiday. Been thinking about you all. I'm so grateful. I recently moved to a new house. I'm just going to tell you, this is us just girls having tea. And I applied for a loan for the house. I didn't know if I'd get it because I work for myself and all the things. And I just want to tell you, I wouldn't have got the loan without this extra piece of having the myofascial stretch method. Made me cry, just in a gratitude sort of way. This little bit of extra income on paper for the bank made it happen. So thanks. And I love my new little house here in Crestwood. And this is the year where I find some peace. I'm healthy. I can tell so much how much healthier I am. The house I was in had mold in it, and my partner did not necessarily, he's not allergic to it, so it wasn't a thing for them. So here I am, and I can already tell how much healthier I am. So thanks. I'm getting more space. My hip is opening up. Nice and easy. You got a straight leg there. You're going to drag that heel so that foot comes closer to you, knee bent. Let that other leg float down, and we're going to come off our prop here. So push with your feet, move your prop, My feet are hip width apart. Add a little to and fro. A little la-di-da. And a little inventory. Notice how your hips are moving one side versus the other. Greasing the wheel. When we move our hips, we are creating synovial fluid. That is the lubrication in the hip joint. So it tells the body to add some of that synovial fluid. Beautiful. All right, because we might be out there shoveling or even just walking this week with a little more attention. If there's ice,